All right, welcome back to the channel. Deontay Wilder and Andre Ward get blasted by Jarell Big Baby Miller. If you don't know who Jarell Big Baby Miller is, he is literally the biggest, first or second biggest cheater in boxing right now. And when I say biggest, I mean like in the size of the guy. He and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is probably the biggest cheater, the largest cheater. But Jarell Big Baby Miller, woo-wee, and got enough nerve to talk bad about Deontay Wilder and Andre Ward for calling him out on it. And most crazy, comes with a flat out story or lie about Deontay Wilder's brother. Let's talk about that in this video. All right. We're back talking this boxing. You know, there's not a lot of stuff going on in the boxing world right now, but we are keeping it busy by going over all things boxing. All kind of conversations are still happening. And Jarell Big Baby Miller. So when I got up this morning and I started reading my boxing news, I usually get up and spend, about an hour or so going through boxing articles, reading what's going on in the world. And I ran into something that Jarell Big Baby Miller is hot at Deontay Wilder and Andre Ward for calling him a cheater. And I don't understand what in the world the dude is mad about. You are one. How can you possibly be raising an issue with it, man? But this is the year 2020. And this is a year where, hey, man, people got real short memories for guys that are blatant cheaters, and they are more than willing to overlook it. So, hey, man, it's almost like we've gotten to the point where when a person is accused of cheating and it's acknowledged that a person cheats, that somehow they're the victim. It's amazing. And Jarell Big Baby Miller is right there trying to sing that same old song, that Tyson Fury fans were singing when people are pointing out that, hey, man, this dude tested positive for nandrolone. The guy had a glove off of his, had gotten a tampered glove taken off of his hand. There's all kind of stuff with the Deontay Wilder fights. But hey, our guy won, so nobody really raises a big issue, or they try to keep the issue from being treated as if it's a significant issue. So, Jarell Big Baby Miller is right there in the same boat, trying to do the same thing, but this time just for himself. Now, what is Jarell Big Baby Miller and then uses Deontay Wilder's brother to tell a story? So first things first, what did Jarell Big Baby Miller get accused of cheating for? I'm quite sure you guys remember this. Back in early 2019, Jarell Big Baby Miller was slated to face Anthony Joshua in Anthony Joshua's homecoming not homecoming, but his his premiere, his debut is the better word to use, his debut in the United States. So Big Baby Miller was getting ready to fight him. Then Big Baby Miller did what? He popped dirty, not just for one performance enhancing drug. I do believe the guy tested positive for 2 or 3 different types of performance enhancing drugs. It was like this dude said, hey man, I'm trying to win this any way I possibly can. He cheats, he gets caught, he loses the fight he loses the ability to fight Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua moves on and fights, God dog, man, what is his name? Andy Ruiz, man. So many boxers. He fights Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz winds up knocking him out in a shocking upset. Then they have a rematch. Andy Ruiz probably pocketed somewhere between $15-17 million between the two fights, and Jarell Big Baby Miller is out there swinging in the wind. Now, Jarell Big Baby Miller, though, is about to, if he hasn't already signed, my understanding is that he's going to sign with Top Rank. The thing that Jarell Big Baby Miller got very, very lucky, but I wouldn't even say this is luck. This is more like it's a loophole that people don't mind fighters using. He tested positive for performance enhancing drugs, but at the time that he was tested for it, he had not yet applied for his New York state license. So since he hadn't applied for his license, the suspension that he got was a lot shorter than it would have been if he had been licensed by the New York State Athletic Commission. But that's my understanding of what they're saying. That is similar to what's going on with Tyson Fury, where Tyson Fury is being investigated by the British Boxing Board of Control, or UKAD, and the British Boxing Board of Control for having knowingly submitted false testimony in his defense against accusations that he used performance enhancing drugs. His defense to that was that he ate contaminated boar meat that he bought from a guy named Martin Carefoot. Martin Carefoot had signed an affidavit, or he gave a statement to the effects that he had sold. Martin Carefoot had sold this uncastrated boar meat to Tyson Fury. Now he takes that back and says, "Look, I never did that. I was just trying to be nice." But then as things got hot and there was more pressure on it, Tyson Fury offered me $25,000 to keep going, or his team offered me $25,000 US, or excuse me, 25,000 pounds, 37,000 US dollars to keep my story up, but they never paid up the money. So he is he's salty and he busts out Tyson Fury. But can Tyson Fury be punished for this? Well, right after, it seems as if not too long after Martin Carefoot let Tyson Fury's promoter, Frank Warren, know that he was looking for his money, or he was going to be calling UKAD, at least that's my interpretation of it, that after that, Tyson Fury relinquished his UK boxing license, which is not as straightforward as people would think, as far as like he's out, he's safe from the investigation. I mean, eventually the dude is going to have to fight somebody in the UK. And when he has to fight somebody in the UK, then UKAD and those guys are right back in the mix that he's got to apply for a license for the UK. But more than likely, but anyway, I bring all that up to say, you see that how these loopholes can be used in order to prevent a fighter who tests positive for performance enhancing drugs, or in the case of Tyson Fury, is found out to have interfered with an investigation into his use of performance enhancing drugs, that the system has plenty of ways for them to get out of it and minimize their punishment. And then the boxing public themselves, it seems like maybe the shock value of performance enhancing drugs, positive test is worn off, and they just don't care. They just want to see their guy fight and just flat out don't care. That is what that atmosphere is, what is allowing Jarell Big Baby Miller to even be fighting in a boxing ring at all. Now, for him, the crazy part of what he said, though, was that he points to Deontay Wilder's brother. He said, "Look, man, Deontay Wilder got on me for testing positive, called me this and that. He doesn't know the whole story." And he also mentions that Andre Ward and these other guys that spoke don't know the whole story. And then he brings out, hey man, your brother Marcellus Wallace tested positive, pop for something, and he got suspended. Now, if you're familiar with the circumstance, that is just patently just not true. Marcellus Wallace, Deontay Wilder's brother, never tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. Definitely not for the situation that people say that he did. That was just some YouTube. That was some YouTube channels that wanted to put some hate video out on Deontay Wilder. Notice they did the same trick people do with BoxRec boxer pages all the time. As soon as they see something that says indefinitely suspended by Nevada State Athletic Commission, or in the case of Marcellus Wilder, indefinitely suspended from Texas, from the state of Texas, by the state of Texas, they make a video speculating that it's because of performance enhancing drugs. But when the truth of the matter is, when somebody gets knocked out in a fight or something like that, they always suspend the fighters. As far as Marcellus Wallace had a fight turned to a no contest, but it had nothing to do with performance enhancing drugs. And the state of Texas just didn't release the reason why they turned the fight into a no contest. But it wasn't for performance enhancing drugs. And we know that because the state of Texas, if you test positive for performance enhancing drugs in the state of Texas, you either get a very, very big suspension and or you're banned for life. What happened with Deontay Wilder's brother is that he was suspended for 6 months. Being suspended for 6 months tells you right there that whatever he violated, whatever the issue was, had nothing to do with performance enhancing drugs. Because if they were going to ban him for a specific amount of time for that, it would have been a lifetime ban. Or if they would have penalized him money for it, that money would have been a lot. It would have been a sum of money. It wouldn't be 6 months. So anyway, it was just ridiculousness to have Jarell Big Baby Miller throw that on Deontay Wilder. Is just, it's just like a dirty tactic, man. And it's ironic because Jarell Big Baby Miller is saying that Deontay Wilder and Andre Ward, these guys are criticizing him for things that they don't know, but yet he turns around himself and criticizes Deontay Wilder's brother for something that is just not true. So, it's just crazy, man. During this time for this hiatus in boxing, man, just watching all of this stuff, you really do get to focus on a lot of the dirt and the grime that is in boxing, man. And this performance enhancing drug situation, man, has got to be about the dirties. But anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.